Here's the wild hairdo. It's not that wild. There's like one in my hair. Not like hanging on my back. Anyways. Happy Saturn retrograde to you, whatever sign we're doing right now. Isn't this amazing that we're doing this now? The music will move in just a moment, but we're talking about Saturn retrograde from July 13th to November 27th of 2025. Saturn will be retrograding and we'll be covering themes of spiritual surrender, responsibility that is required for restructuring our lives around the newly evolved present now. So all of those things will be going on. Titties actually is the one who selected whose read this is. You know who this is before I do. I haven't looked yet, but that's why Titties is in on the read with me. I'm just getting my decks reshuffled, and then we'll just go ahead and go right into it. I think I'll probably do, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe Aquarian, maybe the writer, I don't know. Maybe Sharsiska. Love you, beans. Enjoy your shower. Dennis senses it. Okay. Oh, somebody's leaving. Great. Would you mind just knowing the music? Okay, great. Okay, let us see. What we got? My bad. Aquarius. I knew that's why I could do my weirdo shit on Aquarius and it doesn't matter. Because Titty said it's time for Aquarius. And I was just thinking, I was like, should we do the Aquarian or whatever? And I was like, Aquarian. Clearly. So we're going to do the Aquarian tarot. Oh, some residual cuts that were, it's kind of like the capsule moves, like the frequency of like literally the same vibe, like it's like still lingering. Do you have to? Let me see. I'm actually gonna slide on down. 1 second. Where? Hold on, y'all. Just show the whiskey. There we go. Alrighty. Moving on down a little bit. Sorry, people. Oy, oy, oy. Aqua. I feel super embodied. All the work is embodied. Let's see what we got. Sorry, Aquarius. Y'all get it. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's see what we got. Hold on, titties. Hold on, titties. Don't we love it when we're right? Don't you love it when your spiritual truth is like, hey, dude, this is gonna happen? Oh, Den. Oh, shit. Alright.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna air up a little bit.
Okay, I'll just leave it. Just go ahead. We're just gonna whatever. That's hilarious.
Are you using this pillow?
No, that's your pillow.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, I see what you mean for the camera.
Right.
Juliante. Of course, dude. Of course. But of course, Aquarius is getting it out there right now. It's like, what the fuck? No, don't tell him to move again because I'm about to readjust and he gonna move again. He's a treacherous little thing. Okay. Aqua, let's get reset. Thanks for sitting in there for 5 minutes. I hope you were just doing your own thing. Or you don't. We're starting here. The Queen of Swords. There's something your spiritual produce. Your truth. You say the truth, you walk around, you tell the truth. It is the truth. Something you said was going to be the way it was. Guess what? People's jaws are on the floor when Judgment Day comes, and exactly what you said is going to happen. Fucking happens. And it's like, yep. Pretty good at calling a shit pinata when I see one. Type of frequency. And look, it's not even some holier than thou. It's like we're all embodied. It's like, dude, that's just gonna not work out. If you look at the roots to that, like this Queen of Swords is like, it's always looking at the source. Because her truth comes from source. So if the way that things are sourced, you were noticing is fraudulent, you're pretty much able to be like, yeah, that's not gonna work out, obviously. Because it's a bad judgment call altogether. Bad investment altogether. Yikes-ski. Yikes-ski. Crossing that looks like exactly what you said. This is my frequency, 213 frequency. It's like Queen of Swords, death. Like, I'm gonna let you know when death is on the way. I'm gonna let you know. If you summon me in your frequency, it's like transformation is on the way. And Aquarius, I feel like under that full moon we had, you were like, look, I'm gonna give you some, I'm gonna put you on game. Get prepared for the Grim Reaper. It's gonna take whatever is in your path that has to go. Type of frequency. And Aquarius, lo and behold, if someone bet on you, they're fucking rich as fuck. If they took your advice in heat of the morning, you saved them big time. You helped them make the best out of a shit pinata. You know? If they didn't listen to you, I mean, it's like what you said was gonna happen happened either way. But if someone didn't invest and believe what you were saying, they could have gambled their whole fucking fortune. Yikes. Super yikes. 2 questions on Judgment Day. There are 2 paths. This is super simple. Judgment, when this is happening, 2 paths. You can, Aquarius said you can either surrender or you can resist. The same judgment will happen either way. And I think people saw that. In every degree, in every way, like you can resist fucking the inevitable, or you can let it move you forward and you can surrender now. And I feel like it was you, Aqua, who was like telling people that. And I was kind of talking about how the last 3 signs are going to be Aqua, Cancer, and Taurus. And I feel like it was on my walk today. I just finished our like regular like 5-6 mile walk. And it was like, I was like, oh yeah. The thing about it is, those 3 are the only reason anyone in the collective is healthy. Those 3 houses, those 3 signs, those 3 sectors within all of us are the only reason we stuck to our gun, because Cancer is not going to lie about a feeling. They're not going to like say they're happy when they're not. Taurus is not going to lie about the senses. So if something isn't good, Taurus is not going to tell you something that's nasty tastes good. And Aquarius is like going to stay authentic, so they're not going to be fake no matter what. And so those 3 signs right now come out on top, because I think you guys are the ones who know how to surrender. Like even if you want something to be a certain way, if it's not that way, you're not going to just try to live into Lululand and make it into something it's not. And I think you were just the person that was like really vocalizing that, like vocalizing this transition that was coming, this sort of like skin shedding that was coming. I mean, all astrology really does it, but it's like you're in the embodiment of that. So it's like all of that stuff, like you really like live out. You're like, this is on its way. This is en route. Nope, sir-ski. No, sir. Go. No. We're not doing that. No. You're not doing it, baby. You're not doing it. So that's what ended up happening. The 2 paths, swinging the world. The people who were caught in the resistance, being attacked, and then the people who were surrendered, and Spirit is moving forward at this time. But you didn't just make the right judgment call first. You were telling people there's a path that's coming. You're gonna be very careful, and you try to alert as many people about what comes down each path. If you're in resistance, what comes down that is death and destruction. If you go with the flow, rehabilitation, new life. You know, two very distinct ways of seeing things. And I think it came from a recent past where like you knew what it feels like to be like locked out of your own shit. You know what I mean? Like you know what it is that, you know, you I feel like Aquarius, I also feel like in the recent past, this Knight of Pentacles was like letting you, how fast this Knight of Pentacles was gonna go within yourself is how long you were gonna be suffering. For me, as an example, it's like took me 6 months to like for the seed of my tour to really like manifest, right? I made it in Capricorn season. Here we are at the Cap full moon, looking at how that is transpiring for me, like how dedicated and like how fast I was able to go and grow and develop and really ground in the vision is how fast it was going to come in. And that's kind of the recent past, you know, because it's like in the recent past you've been offered an opportunity that you were working towards that you knew would take you out of being locked out. And it's like the Aquarius part of you was like always going to build that. Yeah, Aquarius, you knew when Judgment Day came, it was like the best thing to do is like to set myself up for the Four of Wands, to be in union, to be able to pick whatever path will lead to this. Because that's what I feel like Aquarius really wants more than anything, is to come into union with themselves, you know? You might be the unorthodox individual, you might be the unique person, whatever, but it's like at the end of the day, like I really just like want to be able to have my union, you know? And that's like the thing that's been such a blessing for me today. It's like why I'm coming on here feeling super myself and super low key and like just trusting how good this machine goes without even me having to fucking do too much. Like everything I do is in the embodiment of the message, so it's lit, bro. Everything. But it's kind of amazing at this time because I feel like for me on Judgment Day, the reward that I would want for doing all the right things, 12/12, is to be able to like be in union with my husband forever and ever, amen. Like we're so excited about our future because of just the dream that I had built for it. And it's because, you know, I was really meditating over the fact that when the Reaper comes and cleans this all up and it's time for this to collapse and rebuild something new, when it's time to shed an old skin of our previous history as humanity, am I going to be someone that's in the way of that, or am I going to really resist the entire way, or am I going to flow? Because yeah, there were things I feel like Aquarius that it was like, damn, this journey, feeling locked outside of it, feeling like I couldn't have my tour, couldn't have the things that I was trying to do, it teaches you surrender. And that's kind of the whole point. Sometimes the whole point of like why it's like a shitty shit show is just because you want to be able to surrender and listen to God for your next steps. You don't want to be like ever deferring to yourself as like just the person that's like deciding. I think there's just like a lot more moving parts I feel like that are also happening that, you know, if you're not paying attention, like you're just going to be, you know, I mean, it's not even possible. Certain things that just are out of your control, certain things you just wouldn't have control of, you wouldn't know the jurisdiction of. So you have to kind of defer to something bigger than the self, which can only account for maybe just you and certain aspects of you, but not everything that's required for some of these big, grandiose visions. And so you knew that, you know. Yeah, and you also continue to invest in yourself. It's like every time you, like, it's, you really embody, like, if it's you, then it's me. Like, if I have, in the near future, it's like 9 of Swords, right? Like, is this coming? Is this coming? Is this coming? And you really realize it really is a so within, so without journey. So you had, every time you would want to get into your head, the best thing that you could do to like change that or transmute the painful parts of this journey would be by becoming or giving the 9 of Pentacles. Like, even if it's like I have no money, I have no possessions, I have nothing to really give anybody materially, it was like you were going in and digging for the resources that you did have, and so you would just give it. Like, if you're expecting someone to give something to you, you would go give something of equal value in the realm of what you do have to something, to yourself, to whatever, and that would strengthen the manifestation of it all. Because what I don't think you're expecting is for the big cuts. For you, because of how you've done this, because of the fact that you still show up and you still invest in yourself, even though you're in this tight of a pickle, now something is going to mirror and cut something and go straight to you. Like, whatever was misaligned, whatever was trying to block you, whatever, there's so many nefarious energies trying to keep whoever, whatever truth you need to reach you, because the truth is your love, like, you know. But this is kind of like true love will find you, and the end, like, when it's all said and done, when it's all over with the warring and the fucking who shit belongs to who, when all that's done, it's just you and the love you really have. And here's this Emperor coming to bring you this huge contract again. And it was also always on your path that it was all just going to come at once. It's just like a time in your life when you were supposed to have the tools you need to build the vision. So you spend so many years building the vision, and then once the vision is sturdy enough, then it comes in the time for the resources. And that's who this partner you were identifying, you know, I think you just have big vision. You knew they were coming from, you know, in the distance. So it's just about meeting that. And the most important thing is you cannot, I hear, me, I'm a creator, you know what I mean? You can't fear this part of yourself. This is also in the fear space, right? Fearing that you're, because I think for me, one thing I was really dealing with, my Aquarian energy was like really like transmuting the pain that it used to be, because people used to tell me I had horrible ideas or really criticize my ideas or just like not even go with them because of their lack of faith in them. And that really triggers me because like I'm like a pretty proper, like I'm like really into the hospitality industry, you know? Really, you know, a lot of what I want to do is like curate experience in life, design experiences, you know, through my art, through my work, through my embodiment, right? So of course, to get stronger in that, I'm going to face a lot of negative reinforcement that's like you're always making bad experiences. You're always responsible. Okay. Jesus Christ. You're always responsible for bad experiences. See that come. Right? To get stronger in my mind. Oh my God. This lover that's coming in, Aquarius, is like about to, they're just super invested in you. They have so much to give. And I think that's cool for you, Aquarius, because usually you're the one that like people need to invest in them. And I think this specific new partnership that is like on your path, ordained by the Most High, is coming into mirror into you, Aquarius, that like they have some new niche resource that you don't have. You know, you have a lot of things, right, but you don't have this type of resource that they have, whatever it may be. And so it's cool because it's like something you would want, you know, to enrich your life, because it's just like, oh, cool. And it's the best of the best, and it's their way of showing their love in a physical way. It's their way of giving the gift to you in a physical way, the investment to you in a physical way. And it's because you saved somebody's ass on Judgment Day by telling, because you didn't control them. You didn't even tell them which, it doesn't, because there was no per path to pick. You just told people there's going to be two options right now to respond to what's happening, because this is coming for all of us. So there's going to be two ways. You can either be terrified shitless and let your fear and just resist it, or you can surrender. If you surrender, bro, all we can tell you is that path leads to like the lovers. It leads to God bringing you more, because the only reason anything would be falling down at this time per Aquarius's request is that it's like meant to fall down. So because you gave somebody that advice, they know you're, not only do they know, confirmed you're their lover because it checked out with what ended up actually happening. But I think they're happy they made a better choice and they had some protection. I feel like this person is here to protect you because you protected them in certain situations. Type of frequency. You feel me? You dig ski? You dig ski? Yeah. You sent a message. You said it's just gonna be hell. You called the ship pinata. Like Aquarius, you called the ship pinata, and you saved everyone's ass. You told people what would create the ship pinata frequency, and people know now, because they know that like the people who ended up in the ship pinata like were doing the thing that you told them would get them in the ship pinata, which was resisting death, which is thinking you're immune to it. It's coming for you too. You know, that's why people are like, oh, we're good. They thought they had protection they didn't have. You would be going through the process of transformation is your protection. So if you don't go through what God is asking us to go through this time, if you don't shed a skin in the year of the snake, you are actually forfeiting your protection, because now it will get taken from you, usually in a violating ass way, says Aquarius. You know? Toads my goats, bro. Toads my goats, the fucking full moon ski. The full moon ski, bro. Toads my goats ski. Because our creations were getting a transformation, so you don't want to be resisting that. You don't want to, Aquarius said, I just wouldn't suggest creating anything that's already been created, because there's a force that's coming to literally specifically change that under this moon, and so you may not even know how it's intending to change it in what direction necessarily. And so there were people who were like gonna just double down and be gung-ho, 7 of Wands. And I'm just saying, I feel like everybody's in the same, you know, place, because it's this much initiation either way, whether you feel good about it or not, you know. It's a lot to process of what we just came through. You know, the initiation of all of that frequency. Pero like, yeah, the people who actually like resisted the transformation of it all, I think were like, yeah, you're feeling pretty stabbed in the back by the universe, because it's like, it's just a lot, you know? But you can't even say anything because the universe sent messaging of what you would literally walk into again. So people are feeling very blessed for their life at this time because of you, Aquarius. They're feeling very grateful for your protection. They know that your protection is worth investing in, because it might just be good to have. I mean, if this person is calling shit that can help you avoid certain shit, like, wouldn't you want to like try to employ that in your life? I feel like that's what this lover feels when they dealt with like what you were saying. This investment as well depended on this. It's like you got someone who was on the fence, who was not showing up in this way, and you even knew. You got out in front of it. It's like, well, I know why you're on the fence. It's because of this. Because you too are going through the energies too. You're deciding, are you going to resist the change? That's not coming from you. It's like the creator is calling for this. This is one of those things where this is like, Aquarius, you told people this is something we're all going to be surrendering to. This is a collective energy. It's not a personal energy. And I think people who have a problem with control, who have a problem with their creator, we're all like in their fucking feely feels. And you're like, this is one of those times where it won't even matter what you think about what God has to say. I'm just letting you know God's going to do this. And you really helped people because, you know, not investing in certain things, you know, or at least protecting yourself, you know what I mean? Kept the shit stains from out of the lagoon, but it depends on what you picked. Because you said these two paths are going to come with two very different outcomes. And what is going to be gambled, depending on what path you go down as the King of Pentacles, is your emotional fulfillment. And sometimes that's all Aquarius is. It's like, I can't, like, I feel like with me, it's like, you know, sometimes when I share, like, you know, sort of preventative information to people, I'm like, look, to me, my quality of life is like, if it's going to suck to just feel and go through, it's too much. It's too, like, for me, it's that serious. It's like, it's too much. I can't gamble that. Sorry. I don't like to have a bad time. I don't like to feel like I'm putting myself through a bad time that I don't want to be experiencing. It doesn't feel good. I'm like, you know? And so Aquarius is like, that's what I would do. I feel like the way you communicated this is like, this is what I would do and how I would feel. I feel like I have enough self-love to be like, I don't want to be going through something like that. You know, this is someone who is too valuable. Like the path that you pick, resisting the death or embracing it, you're too valuable, you were saying, to do something that you don't really want to do. So do what you want to do. Maybe resisting maybe feels really right. Maybe going with the flow feels really right. But either way, this is the type of outcome where it's gonna fall completely on the shoulders of the choice you made. So you just want to make sure you're in touch with the choice you want to make. I just feel like too, this Page of Swords is blue and everything else is yellow. People thought you were being very cold. It may have been that when you said this originally, people thought you were being fucking cold. And it's like, no, bitch, I was actually left out in the fucking cold in hell before. You were telling people, like, you started speaking from experience. I think you even swayed people. I think there were people that were not going to do something. They weren't going to take you seriously, but then you got even more vulnerable. And then you said, no. There was times when it happened to me. Death came knocking and I thought, nah, not me. And it was me. I got caught in it. And you're telling people alignment. You were teaching people about alignment. You know, how important it is to be like in our truth when we're moving forward in life. And because you presented something that was grounded and rooted in your real experience, therefore it was affecting someone. It looks like a King of Pentacles. They didn't invest in something which could have been a risk. It could have been scary to not like really invest in it. But guess what? They saved themselves from having shit stains in their lagoon. That is another very Scorpionic way, Aquarius, to like get exactly what you want done. No, sir. Yep. You were using your alchemical tempering abilities to get the full independence you've been wanting. Because Aquarius, you're here to fucking come into sovereignty for your bloodline. If you incarnated as an Aquarius, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to come into union with all parts of yourself, you know, and sovereignly doing so, while sourcing the physicality of your life yourself, using divine assistance, because you really represent that sort of divine higher self, connected and fused with the lower self. And And I just get in the near future, this is kind of the frequency of everyone. Everyone's going to be dealing with Nine of Swords because you either listen to the Nine of Swords, you left when the High Priestess told you don't put yourself out of alignment at this time, and now you're directly in alignment with the Fool. Or you put yourself out of alignment, this is your current reality where it's like really deep, intense anxiety, I'm struggling, I'm suffering, because you didn't listen to this, and you realize now you literally would have been freer had you listened, because you were showing people like how to like understand when you're being warned about something, you know, and how you got to be at least grounded enough in life to like not be like paying attention when you are being warned about like how things can turn out negatively for you. Yeah, Five of Swords, warrior. Like some serious war frequencies some people are in. Let's see. The war on discernment that people got caught up in. You know? Aquarius, you're sitting victorious because you said, I don't give a fuck. Look, there's your two swords. You're like, you didn't pick it up. Aquarius, you were like, I'm not picking it up. I already have victory. I'm not going to go do that. I'm not going to go to war. Why would I do that? The war is over if you wanted to. That's what you said. That's what you said, Aquarius. That's what you said. And now you have a contract coming in from an emperor that you wrote, that you designed. You created this dream. You created, yes, they are meeting you with the resources to make it happen, but it's something you created. You even told them what resources to give you. And it's like everything. But it's something you created, and you get it because, again, you were discerning. You discerned correctly. You knew not to do something, to say, no, thank you, I'm good, to close off to that, to stick to your freedom instead of harming other people. Because the reason these people ended up in such a warring frequency was because of the fact that the way that they conducted themselves was about taking from people's consciousness. And Aquarius did not do that. It doesn't matter what you were caught in the middle of. It was about when it came to your personal judgment, you made sure not to choose to steal from people. You tried to be grounded and genuine and give what you were taking. And that's why you're getting this. Right? Because in the fear space, the Ten of Pentacles above, they wanted you to fear how good you were at creating a whole vision. Now you know this. You don't really need anybody else to build this. You should, Aquarius, I'm sorry anyone ever told you weren't good at creating universes and getting them built. But you are. You're extremely creative. You know how to take an idea from here to completion. And that's what they were trying to discourage in you, that you don't know how to do that. Well, guess what? Outcome is the Lovers. Outcome is like, yeah, it was always on my path to make the Children of America, so it's not even like subjective. This is just like destined and fated shit unfolding. Are you shitting me? Destined and fated shit unfolding, bro. Destined and fated shit unfolding, bro. The fuck? I shed my old skin that was trying to that had all the fucking dark nefarious entities, and now look. My dream, I let it go through the rebirth because I was like, look, I would go on this tour no matter when. I would do this at any age. It's literally for me. It's something I really made for me and my husband specifically. It's like beautiful. And the thing is when death came approaching, and Spirit's like, okay, I'm gonna have to send it through the death portals to make sure that it's like something you really want, because you kind of have to surrender when death comes. You have to let it go. And that's the hard part is Aquarius, I feel like this vision you had for your life, you had to let it go, right? This vision of you being stable and in union, you had to let it go. Because so many things are trying to test you and come up against you. You let it go. You surrender to the will of divine. You said, well, it's God's plan. And it really always is, Aquarius, because you could walk away, you don't have anxiety that other people have. You're able to help people through the anxiety. You're actually coming up as the High Priestess that's guiding people out of anxiety right now, which is another big reason why they're investing in you, because they're like, dude, I got a lot of anxiety. I could use your counsel. But you're able to do that when you're not the emotion, you're holding it, you know, when you're not actually the person that's fucking broke, busted, and disgusted. You know? But you helped resurrect people. You helped people through death. That's what I'm saying. You're on your Grim Reaper. You helped people straight through that process, Aquarius. And now your entire ancestral abundance that is on your soul is coming down at once. Every backdated 10 of Cups feeling is coming down at once. You and your love get to spend eternity both having this now, because you faced your fear and you said, I'm good at creating a big picture. I can mature an idea, and that's what the last 6 months were for you. It's like, I know I'm doing something, bro. Good thing I didn't give up on me like these guys wanted me to. Good thing, Aquarius, because it looks like the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups is spinning for you. Jeez, that's your outcome, dude. You win, you win, you win. You know how to develop a dream, and this proves it. And it's because you're the most obedient. Aquafaba. Thank you for letting me be in a silly, goofy mood, Aqua. And thanks for just fucking me. I'm like so excited. I feel like so chillaxed right now, finishing off these last 3 signs because I'm like going into chiller mode. I won big time, because I committed to my vision. I don't know. Maybe you guys should try committing to your visions. Then maybe you'd be feeling as lackadaisical as me. But I'm pretty excited right now. So congratulations, Aquarius. We're gonna get this right up for you. The next 5 months is that you were right. The initiation you just went through is going to pay you back dividends, and you're just, the next 5 months is just like, you have the resources now, you get to just go and do the thing. You just get to begin, building and erecting your new Aquarian paradigm. Because you've got so much teaching to do. I had to be you. It's fucking lit, bro. It's fucking amazing. Really fucking cool. Way to warn everybody, way to help everybody out. They were heeding your warnings, and many of them, it was the difference between being safe and not safe. So congratulations for being just a humanitarian and really caring about the human experience. So love ya, Aquas. We're about to kill it this next 5 months. Just like take it in. It's your world now. You've built something so magnificent. Be happy that you are who you are. Because I am happy for every Aquarius that is who they are. Because our world is a better place with you guys. So, peace out.